What's going on, guys? It is your boy Junior from PMP Customs coming back at you with another video. Today we have a 2006 Chevy Silverado SS, and this is the Intimidator edition. I think this is like a limited edition, which is pretty cool. It's awesome to have this here at the shop. This client came here for a radio upgrade, but I know some of you guys have this question for me. Junior, what if I don't want a gigantic screen? What if I don't want to be, I don't want to pay extra to watch YouTube, Netflix while I'm driving, because I'm simply just not going to do that. I don't want to pay extra for features that I'm not even going to use, which is correct. So I know for our old timers, you guys love your standard 7-inch radios. When I say that, I'm talking about, your universal 7-inchers like Pioneer, Kenwood, JVC, Soundstream. I have those radios. In this case, this client, I can install like a gigantic screen here, to be able to watch YouTube, Netflix on there, but the client just simply doesn't want that, and I understand that. So we do offer Pioneer and JVC radios here, depending on, what kind of features you want. This client wants a backup camera and Apple CarPlay. So what I'm going to be offering him is a JVC 560BT. It's going to look nice and flush, and it's going to look, original. Nothing's going to be falling and sticking out. But yeah, we do offer those kind of radios here. If you don't want a gigantic radio, you don't want extra features, and you just want something that works, I can do that for you here at PMP Customs. So like I said, this is a 560BT showcase. I'm going to install it, about the harness and all that. I'm not going to give you guys like a step-by-step process, just so like the journey and getting it installed. The backup camera, of course, we run it under the vehicle with some loom to protect it, from water and all that. But let's get straight into the installing. All right, so this is the radio that we're going to be installing here. I said we were installing the M560BT. This is the JVC radio 7-inch. This is the backup camera that we're using. This is an HD Crime Stopper camera, and the Crooks harness adapter with the module for the steering wheel controls. We're going to recuperate that as well. The client doesn't want to lose that. It looks a little crazy right now, but it's because I already put the T-taps on it. This connects to the vehicle, the original harness of the vehicle. The brain that does everything, does all the magic, and then these two connect to the back of the radio. It's very simple. It's all you have to do is just connect match the colors and then connect them with T-taps, or you can hardwire it with some electrical tape, but I preferably like to use T-taps. Very simple. But yeah, I like to go off reputation. I don't really care how much they cost. Personally, Crooks, JVC, and the Crime Stopper HD cameras have never failed me. I know there's billions of other companies, but if you come here at PMP Customs, this is probably what I'm going to offer you. For if you want a backup camera with a standard radio, and obviously you need the adapters, these companies have never failed me. So like I said, I don't care if it's expensive or not. These are a good brand, hashtag not sponsored, but they're really good. They've never failed me. I never get a client coming back complaining. But yeah, so let's go ahead and remove the radio, that way we can start installing all this stuff. All right, so Chevy made it real simple to remove this radio here. All you have to do is tug on this panel here. It's all held in by clips. There you go. We do have to turn on the vehicle, put the shifter down. Let me go ahead and do that. Shifting it out, and there you go. Back to park. There. All right, let's not get copyrighted. My bad. I thought they were 10 millimeters, but they're actually 8 millimeters. So go ahead and remove those. They're actually 7 millimeters. I'm done. Junior, how long have you been doing this and you don't know your sizes yet? My bad, man. My bad. So yeah, there's 7 millimeters. Took me three tries to get that. Oh, there's actually 3 of them holding it in. Well, I'm not even showing you guys. Whoops. That's one. We don't want to lose them. And then one there. So there's 3 in total. All right, so after you remove the screws, now the radio is able to come off. You just have to wiggle it off. Since it's been there for a long time, there you go, it's nice and loose now. But there are harnesses back there that you do have to disconnect. I don't have a prop inside here in order to prop up the camera, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera, and I'm gonna get back to you guys. All right, so as I mentioned, I already finished assembling my harness. From the module, it throws out your connections, like your ignition, your speakers, your ground, all that, and then you throw that into the radio. So I have 2 connectors here. See that? These are going to go into the radio. and then these are going to be connected to the vehicle. Like I said, it's very easy. All you have to do is just match the colors. The only thing that I left loose, or ready to be connected, is my reverse gear. Obviously we're gonna have to connect our reverse to the reverse bulb. That way when the client reverses, it automatically senses that the vehicle's in reverse and it displays the camera on there. And the ground, I also left that loose because obviously the camera needs power and ground, so I'm also going to be jumping ground from here, from the same harness, and I also have to jump ignition. That way the camera has power to turn on. But that's stuff I do afterwards. Right now I'm just focused on getting everything connected. It's very simple. Just match the plugs. See? There you go, that's one. And then this one, I'm gonna go here. There you go. And then this is the antenna. The client is obviously still gonna be using his FM. Oop, that's a client calling. All right, now we're back, guys. So we did connect our harnesses. I did explain why we have loose connections. We'll go ahead and fix that later. This is gonna connect to the back of the radio. Now, this is the original FM antenna. That's gonna be connected here. You have to buy, this is separate. So that way you recuperate it. So we're gonna go ahead and connect that. Very simple, it clicks in. Make sure it's nice and tight, you don't want it falling. And there you go. Now this adapter, this male can now connect to the back of the aftermarket camera. All right. I'm sorry, the aftermarket radio. All right, and then I also have to run the backup camera over here because, like I said, I do have to make some connections. And of course, the yellow male connects to the back of the radio. I have this tool here, amazing tool. It opens and it grabs. See that? So I'm gonna run this towards the driver footwell. There you go. I'm gonna run my camera cable. I'm gonna grab it. Should be able to pull it upwards. Look at that. Man, life is just easy when you have the right tools for the job. It's just amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect my ignition, my ground, and my reverse wire to the harness. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. I'm gonna come back to you guys. All right, so you can see that I made all of my connections. You can see the very tight tape. There you go. Make sure your connections are very tight so they don't fall over time. My ground, and then the reverse wire. You can see I made the connection, but I still left it loose because the radio itself, the actual radio unit, also has a reverse wire that we have to connect this to. But other than that, everything is ready to be connected to the back of the radio. Now what we're missing is we have to run the microphone. That way when the client calls and he's connected to Apple CarPlay or Bluetooth, the radio itself doesn't have a microphone hole, so we have to run one towards the windshield. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that as well. All right, so that's how my microphone install looks like. I always put it in the corner here of the windshield facing towards the client, so when he speaks, he is very well heard. And then I ran it from the seam, ran it from the under part. Don't worry about this, this is the camera that I have yet to run. I put zip ties on it from the bottom of the footwell, that way it doesn't dangle on the client's feet. Run it upwards the same way I did with the camera. And here it is. And obviously I had a lot of excess wire, so I went ahead and taped that off just to make it more organized. And then this connects to the back of the radio. So that pretty much means that we are ready to install the radio, but the radio itself is not ready to be installed. So let's go ahead and get to the table. And what I meant by that is that the radio itself, since it's universal, it doesn't come with any brackets. Do you see how this radio is held in with brackets here? So what you do is you buy a radio kit. This is a Metra kit that I bought that makes it so that this radio is able to fit nice and flush and be able to be drilled into the original frame of the vehicle. That way it fits nice and flush like this. So here it is. Here are the parts. So you have this is going to be your left, it's going to be your right, and then this one I believe you don't use. If I am wrong, I'll come back to you guys with that. But since this is universal, you do need to make some modifications. So we're just going to use, I usually throw away the instructions just because the instructions make it a lot more difficult to understand. But if you can see, you just have to match it with the factory ones. So you can see that we only need this one, the one I'm zoomed into right now. The other ones we can cut off. The back ones here, we can simply cut that off because we only need those two right there. Same thing with the other side. So let's go on the other side. Like I said, it usually just helps to throw away the instructions because, damn, a huge truck is passing by. Hold on. There you go, he's gone. But do you see how these holes match with that? So we can cut that one off. We can cut the back ones off as well. Only keep the ones that you do need that match with the original radio, because if this one has the original brackets, just copy it, you know? So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. See, now that I cut them off, it's a lot more simpler. And now you can see what I mean by matching them. See how that matches? And then if we go on the other side, I also cut these sides off. And I kept only the one that I need. So if you put it side by side, see how that bracket matches? Simple as that. So now we just have to clip them onto the frame, and drill them into the holes here with the screws that they give you. I'm gonna go look for them because I don't know where I put them. And I'm gonna show you guys the end product. And there you go. So that is the final product. I'm debating cutting this part off. I'm not sure if I do need it. I think it might get in the way of my harnesses just because I only need this side. But we'll see. Not that it matters, but yeah, you can see that the brackets now match. See how I have that one there, and then these two. See how simple that was? And then the radio, obviously, since it comes with Apple CarPlay, you do have to run a USB somewhere. I usually run my stuff through the footwell, back where, you know, where I ran the camera and also the microphone. I'm gonna leave it dangling by the client's feet. Not dangling, obviously, but around that general area. That way, when he wants to connect it, it's close by. Not sure how I missed that. You guys probably did notice it, that when I was looking at the factory radio, I was looking at it upside down, meaning my brackets are upside down. So when I was putting it in, you can see that it does not match the see that? So the two are supposed to go on the other side because there's two screws there, and then the one bracket goes here. Simple fix. All I have to do is just flip the kit though. So let me get that done. So there is my USB, and that is how it's supposed to look. Like all I did was flip the kit, simple fix, and now it fits nice and flush. The holes match up and everything. At this point, you do want to test that the radio works and all that before you put everything back together. Just in case if the radio came faulty or you're missing some kind of wiring, you can handle that right now. You know, if you do it later, you know, you have to take everything out. So just make sure everything is good right now. What I have to do right now is I do have to run my backup camera. So I'm done with the front end. I'm gonna go ahead and run the backup camera from the underside of the vehicle, protected with some loom. And then I'm gonna meet you guys in the back when I'm setting up the backup camera, because anyone can, you know, run it towards the back with some zip ties and all that. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with that. So let's just go ahead into the future, and I'll meet you guys there. All right, check it out, guys. So here's the idea behind my installation. So I pulled the rug up, and then there is a rubber firewall here. So what I did is I made a hole with a special tool, and with that hole I put Vaseline. That way it makes my cable go through easier, because if it's like, you know, very dry and stuff and I pull tight, it might be that my cable rips. So I put some Vaseline, helped it go in smoother. So that's my backup camera, and I'm going to be running it from the underside of the vehicle, and I'm going to run it towards the back of the trunk bed. As you guys saw, I was running it. There's like a harness that comes from the front of the vehicle all the way towards the back of the vehicle, towards the taillights. I completely followed that one harness, zip tied my wiring all the way around it, and now we're finally here. Obviously, I'm not gonna leave it hanging like this, but just to show you guys that it is able to reach here. It's harder with trucks because trucks are, like, you know, so much more longer than a sedan. But yeah, look, I have all this extra wiring. So all we have to do is just open the trunk bed, or Actually, I think I might have to put a license plate frame for the camera. I'm gonna think about it, but I'm gonna see what looks prettier. But like I said, yeah, it is here. That is how it's done. Now on to the next step, actually mounting the camera. All right, so I personally do hate using license plate brackets just because they're not the prettiest. But here on this truck, you know, we had absolutely no choice. I like to use a small one that's like barely visible, that looks like a factory backup camera. But like I said, there's like nothing to do here. So I, you know, had to put the license. I mean, I'm not saying it looks ugly. It looks perfectly fine. Minimal wiring, but that's the only place we can put it. But yeah, I already checked that the camera turns on, everything's nice. I zip tied all of my excess wiring, put tape around it as well, electrical tape, so the water doesn't, you know, mess the wiring up. Zip tied it up there nice and tight, and it works perfectly fine. So now I can put the radio back and we can head into the showcase. All right, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the final product. I did promise you guys that it's not going to be sticking out. And as the client, you know, he wanted something simple, as I mentioned, and this is, you know, as simple as it can get with Apple CarPlay. The USB is right here. Check that out. I told you guys I wasn't gonna leave it dangling there, so it's accessible, but it's not like, you know, just dangling. So you can just connect the USB port from there, charge his phone, and also connect through Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, depending on what kind of phone he has. But yeah, this is the radio, you know, it does your basic stuff. So, you know, your steering wheel control is also recuperated, as I mentioned.
Fiery red sunsets all season long. Discover a vivid.
None of that stuff is lost. And then your radio FM, of course, all your channels are still there. So if you're a guy that, you know, wakes up in the morning and likes to listen to your hot FM or something like that, don't worry about that. That's not lost. And of course the backup camera, yes, that's the biggest reason why the client wanted a big screen, is because he wanted a backup camera. So now when he's reversing, it automatically detects that the vehicle's in reverse and shows him the rear view image. Then when you go to park, it goes back to the radio. All right, so I'm gonna just connect my phone and then showcase the Android Auto, and then that would be it for the showcase. But yeah, the radio turned out nice. You guys saw the installation is very easy. You just have to buy the right adapters and stuff. And this would be the radio when it's connected to Android Auto. Like I said, you have to do it through USB. But yeah, look, you have your addresses on there. We are here in East Railway Avenue in Paterson, New Jersey. That's where you find the best shop, PNP Customs. But yeah, no, so we have our addresses and stuff like that. You can play your music. There you go. Steering wheel controls also work here. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, this is simple, but it gets the job done. He wanted something, you know, where he can put his addresses on there. That way he doesn't have to keep looking at his phone. You know, you have your extra apps here, so you can download like Chick-fil-A. I've seen people have Uber app and all that. It's depending on what kind of apps you have on your phone, and it gets displayed on there. But yeah, you guys know we do it best here at PNP Customs. Like I said, this is a simple radio that we offer. Some people think that we only install like Android radios, tablets, and all that. No, we still do install JVC, Pioneer, you know, your single DINs, your double DINs, because people see those as reliable since they've been here for like 30, 40 years. Which is true, you know, they have some reputation. So yeah, I still do offer these radios. If you guys are interested and you don't want like a big screen, you don't want nothing too crazy, you just want something that works, I can do that for you. This radio is universal. You just have to buy the right adapters, the right harness. You guys saw the antenna adapter. But other than that, that's pretty much the whole showcase. This was done on a Chevy Silverado SS 2006, the Intimidator edition. You gotta mention that. Come on, it's a special edition. Yo, matter of fact, can I just mention how clean this car is, man? Like, for it being like a 2006 and obviously like a limited edition, you'd expect these to be freaking beat up or something. No, the trunk bed is shiny, like it's gloss black. It's amazing. It's beautiful that the client, you know, kept it, you know, clean and all that. But yeah, this is done on a 2006 Chevy Silverado, but it can be done on any car. But if you yourself have a Chevy Silverado, then that's what the radio is going to look like on your dash. But yeah, that is the 560BT that I offer here at PNP Customs for those who want Apple CarPlay, something simple, and of course the backup camera. You guys know we do it best here at PNP Customs. If you guys enjoyed the video, or if I helped you out in any way, supporting me is very free by, you know, hitting that like button. Other than that, if you guys have any questions for me or want a quote, give me a call, give the shop a call, and you can just ask for Junior and I'll take care of you. All right, see you guys.